First one is HTC Desire EYE 13MP 1080p at 23 fps beauty shot, dual camera, face detection, voice shutter, effects, HDR, anti-shake, backlight, lens blur, slow mo video. Second is Galaxy Note 4 3.7MP 1440p at 30 fps beauty shot, burst shot, dual cameras / dual video recording, selfie panorama, sound and shot, voice shutter. Third is iPhone 6 1.2MP 720p at 30 fps burst shot, face detection, effects. Fourth is LG G3 2.1MP 1080p at 29 fps beauty face, burst shot, dual cameras / dual video recording, voice shutter. Fifth is Xperia Z3 2.2MP 1080p at 29 fps beauty shot, burst shot, dual camera, smile shutter, image stabilization, HDR, sound photo, AR effects. Sixth is Galaxy S5 2.1MP 1080p at 29 fps beauty shot, face detection, dual camera, best shot, burst shot, image stabilization, voice shutter, effects. 7 is HTC One M85MP 1080p at 25 fps beauty shot, dual camera, face detection, voice shutter, effects, HDR. Video. The ultimate selfie phone, Desire EYE vs Note 4 vs iPhone 6 vs LG G3 vs Xperia Z3 vs Galaxy S5 vs One M8. Snapping selfies might have turned into a commonplace activity, but taking video with the front-facing camera isn't quite so popular an option. Nevertheless, folks still use the camcorder for video calls and vloggers are also tapping it frequently. Besides, so long as we're going in depth, it makes sense that we test this aspect, too, though do have in mind that we're keeping these scores separate from the conclusive rank list at the end of the piece. So, video capture. First off, let's start by pointing out the two outliers here, the Note 4, which shoots in 1440p, and the iPhone 6, which is still stuck at 720p. The rest of our contestants all produce 1080p footage. The frame rate at which video is taken also differs in some cases, with the Desire EYE only capturing 23 frames per second, FPS, while most others do 30 frames. As for overall quality, we've got to give it to the HTC One M8, which does 25 FPS, for it juggles exposure great, renders natural colors, and captures rich details and sound. The iPhone 6, despite its 720p clips, landed second, for it, too, managed exposure expertly, all the while checking the rest of the bases as well. The bronze was grabbed by the Note 4, which manages exposure very well, but excellently. Next up, we have the Desire EYE and the LG G3, both of which perform equally well. Last on our list are the Galaxy S5 and the Xperia Z3, as both exhibited the same kind of issues that were impossible to miss in the previous sections, issues with focus and relatively washed out colors with the former and aggressively tinted, purplish, footage with the latter, which also proved to have the greatest troubles with sound recording. Take a look and see for yourself. Conclusion and final thoughts. The ultimate selfie phone, Desire EYE vs Note 4 vs iPhone 6 vs LG G3 vs Xperia Z3 vs Galaxy S5 vs One M8. So where does all of this leave us? With the Desire EYE on the top, that's where. Indeed, HTC Selfie Maniac of a child proved well equipped to handle pretty much each and every scenario we threw at it, and you can expect the same. It shines with its incredible level of detail and great low light performance, and this second part has a lot to do with its dual LED flash. But details aren't everything, and the Note 4 showcased as much time and time again. Some of you might be tired of hearing this, but keep in mind that most people will be looking at your otherwise super detailed selfies through a tiny window on Facebook, and an even smaller one on Instagram and Twitter, the three most likely destinations for your selfies, all of which compress your photos, too. This notion is further cemented by the ONE M8 and its relatively high-res, 5-megapixel cam. Admittedly, the M8 performs admirably, but it still does have some issues with bright light sources during the night, and its shots are not immune to errors when light is limited. In other words, its high-res sensor alone was not enough to ensure the silver. The LG G3 and iPhone 6 landed 4th and 5th, respectively, and that's not surprising, for the two offer middling performance overall. The exception here is the G3's great sound quality during video capture, and the iPhone 6's impresses with the shots it pulls off indoors. As for the last two slots, those are occupied by the Galaxy S5 and the Xperia Z3, and deservedly so. The truth is that even when they were on their best behavior, they still simply produced unpleasant stills that have little to no appeal and will likely end up in your gallery's trash bin.